Hey guys, welcome to a regular Sunday night. We'll just click the live here. We'll just do the regular thing. We'll make sure we're live. This is excellent connection. We're just gonna quickly test the sound. Excellent connection. We're just gonna quickly test the sound. And sound good. Looks like everything's set up. All right. So one of the things I wanted to get, I guess today, I can't remember what I wanted to do last time, but I did really want to make it feel more like a game. What I've been working on off stream, again, is just cleaning things up as usual. Sorry if you still hear me sniffling. The allergies really haven't gone away. I'm gonna have to try to go into the doctors to try to get like some better allergy medication. I'm trying all the home remedies, hot showers and whatever. But I was sick before because of this. I got like a post-nasal drip, which gives you a cough, sore throat, stuff like that. Just because my nose, due to allergies, won't stop running. It's just always dripping. And that cause and leading to other things. So we have the little bit of load up time here. I hate to bring in any more major packs at this rate, but I feel like I really do. I really do got to bring in. I want to bring in like a zombie pack. I'm gonna double check here what I have for zombies, but I don't think I have many right now. Yeah, I was just working on this pack here and fixing up redirectors and try to kill this here, but it says yeah, I'm just gonna do that. See what happens. I'll have to work with these later. We'll go back to gameplay level. We'll fix up redirectors. We'll go here. We'll fix up redirectors. And, yeah, we will try to delete this here. And try to delete this here. There we go. Maps. UI. Loading bar. Alright, we can keep the loading bar. What about this? T menu screen. Alright, we'll leave that in there for now. Alright. Content. Yeah, we got industrial packs. We have infected. But we do not have the insane zombie pack. So for zombies, we just have that like one guy that I think we brought in. This guy here, which is like multi. He's way bigger than we expected. He has way more maps and sounds, and it's a pretty diverse kit. And the zombie itself has multiple different. The blueprint. There's a blueprint for the zombie. It like randomizes how the zombie looks each time. Third person zombie, playable zombie. But it's also pretty, I think, pretty demanding on processor. We don't really want anything too demanding right now until we get things kind of cleaned up level wise. But we could just go to it for now. We have levels. It's just our lobby level. Sorry about the nose. So, lit. We have this area here. These trees do chop and work. We could probably work on doing it more proper and fixing some stuff later. But the premise of them work, just tidying it up really. So I don't think I need this guy. I don't think I need the log. The log is more for just picking up an item and how a pickup works. But we have our own custom axe here, which is a pickup item that we could check here. I think we might even put it in here. We didn't put it in here. No, we did not. Hatchet. We can throw that in there. For now, we got buildings, spotters. We got this hatchet, right? And when we spawn here, we have this guy here and this guy up here. I'm gonna turn the speed down because that's quite annoying. I think I want it to like 1. This guy over here is like overkill. We do not want him. Pawn sense and all that stuff. No, we tested this guy. This is our kind of basic zombie kind of guy, and that's kind of what we want. I never got to finish the house. I think we were talking about the house because we want to be able to go in, but I did rearrange a lot of this stuff. I'm not too sure if I rearranged that on or off stream, but I rearranged it so it made more sense. You're coming in off the road here. You got like, it's all brown here for a driveway, so you can park your cars. You got some storage barns, you got the cows here, and then you have fuel and stuff in the back. And we have one extra storage thing here. And then we can kind of fill them with stuff, and we're gonna make these all to be a part of this guy here, which I can click on. Can't really see. He's this little square here. Oh, if I go to spotters, it would be there. There we go. We have this guy here. And what this guy will do, as you can see, we have barn 2 and barn 1 set up. Is when we're inside this area, the barns and stuff will be visible. And then once we once we're inside this bigger, you can see there's a little bit of yellow out here. So this bigger rectangle that is goes quite a big distance. Then all these bars and stuff load up. But then we want this guy here, the smaller box, remove hitbox. Excuse me. 2,000, maybe 5,000. Maybe like that. It maybe doesn't need to be that wide. Maybe knock this down to 4,000. We can actually rotate this too. So it's like pretty much the exact angle of the farm. So once we enter the farm area, we can even move this down. Get this, maybe we do 200. Maybe 500 actually. This up. There you go. And we do something like that. 6,000. I kind of don't want to hit it on the highway. That works out a bit. So 5,500. There we go. That way, if you're like whipping by in a car, ooh. At the same time, it looks like it goes over this building slightly. So technically, if you're in the building, it might not. It'll be hard. Because once it ticks, it ticks. And so the only thing is if you jumped over the fence, nah, I don't think you could jump in. Like, if you jumped in and you're just like kind of hovering by the window, you might not see anything. And then you walk over here and then everything, it loads in. That's the only kind of tricky part. We could play with that later. But pretty much once you enter this square, it will swap all the static meshes out for actual blueprinted items, because maybe these doors are interactable. Maybe there's going to be like items that you pick up and stuff like that. And that way we could have multiple prefabs built that way. So I think that's one of the things we were working on last time. Is I wanted to have these blueprints built up, or find these blueprints if I didn't have them already, or create the blueprints. And I think that's where I was running into a problem right off the hop, is because some of these guys, their blueprints are kind of messed up, and I had to redo them. I was reworking on one of the blueprints. But since that's kind of long and tedious, I kind of wanted to switch gears slightly and just work on this guy here and the basic premise. So whatever you're in, I'm going to have to load up more of the game here, more of the map. But for now, we can just focus on this area. Is the basic of a game, right? Where we want it, so if we go in here, like, we'll go right about here right now, because we're still playing from camera, so I don't want to be too high or else I'll spawn and hurt myself. It's still going to have a bit of load-in time until we get everything fixed up, because it's spawning the entire map. I know we only have a certain amount loaded, but technically, landscape-wise, we can see more than what we have loaded to work with. So it has to load all those in. and the assets that come with those. So it becomes pretty heavy. But you'll see here we can fight the zombie. The zombie can fight us. But we also get hungry and thirsty. And we need a way to get our health back. And get our stamina and stuff like that back. And we need more zombies. So, we kind of want this guy to kind of look like a zombie at least a little bit. So that's why I was hoping that I had a zombie pack. Alright, close that tab. Now we don't have any weapons. And we killed him. You know what I mean? So we want this guy to obviously respawn, and his body will disappear, but we want him to respawn after a while. Have a weapon here. We could test the weapon out on him as well. But after we kill him, we want like more zombies, and obviously we want to be able to heal ourselves. And we kind of want to be able to get better loot and stuff like that in time. So that's why we have these loot chests here. So after we look into getting some more zombies, we'll need to look into this loot chest again. Some items are pretty cool or useful, some are not so useful right now. And it's just like, I don't really want to have just like these chests. I'll have to figure out where he's spawning all this blueprint. It won't really, if I go to build this, all the blueprint is in development only. It won't show up if I actually go to build the game. So yeah, I went inside the square and I forgot all about this, but deleted the meshes and spawned other meshes in their location. It's supposed to take the location and transformation. Oh, but these are just different meshes entirely. So it's a good example, but it should spawn properly. Alright. Yeah, red none probably. Yeah, for spot actor makes sense. Dismiss. So because I went in the square that we had just set up, I went inside this square here. It deleted the static mesh objects and brought in the blueprinted objects. And in the blueprinted objects, I would have it so it will spawn. I mean, as you run away, it will delete the blueprinted objects again and spawn a static mesh version. In that static mesh version, obviously, we have the same kind of thing. Is once you come close again, it will spawn the blueprint version again if you come back. I might not have it. I was thinking of if it's a small area like this, or if you come in, maybe it will just, instead of deleting the whole thing, it will just do. I have a couple of different ideas, but we'll just, instead of removing it and putting the blueprints there, this will actually stay. It'll just put the blueprints in, Then once you walk back out, it will swap it back to the static mesh and the spotter. It'd be good for this area here, but it wouldn't be good in like a high population city kind of area. Alright, so let's go to our smart AI for now. Blueprints. We have an AI manager. AI manager interface. Now, in this case, I believe his AI manager is just another spawner. It's a pretty optimized spawner, but I don't think it's going to be useful for something that's this big. So I think we're going to go more for just a square spawner. See spawn AI at location. Find AI spawn location. So just go like check a random location in the AI manager box, depending on how big the box is. The floor. Respawn. For loop with delay. Random spawn times. Right? Well, if we go to AI, characters, there was spawners before. Meshes, material maps, time of day, AI interface, chits, structures, enums, widgets, structures, AI characters, examples, zombies, AI components, no, decorator, trees, wave spotted it. Okay, here we go. Used to spawn multiple AI in a boxed area. Used to spawn a single AI in a specific location. This is waves of AI. And these are waypoints. So, if we look, we could drop this in there, or we could go to spawning volume. I think the spawning volume is going to be better. So this is AI. Spawn times, spawn location, it's random time. It's pretty much all we got. This guy here, we got streaming level, AI base, we have overlap size, random location, floors, you get different floors, spawn retries, waypoints, trigger responses, spawn time, respawn time, show deact, that's just a debug, player activation. We have just way more stuff here, I believe, than this guy here. Like I said, sometimes a lot of people, they'll have like a spawn manager that keeps track of how many AI you have, like we had in our previous. This doesn't really do that, so I don't really call it an AI manager, because I wouldn't. It really doesn't give me how many AI there is. It'll probably know, but it will know only from what it spawns, not other spawners. So this one here is probably better for me. And just like this area here, we would want zombies to be kind of in this area. I'm not too sure what this AI base is. We could actually open this spawning up and we could check out what this AI base is. It's just an actor. You gotta find references. Oh. Okay. It is what I kind of thought it was going to be. So AI base, what that is if all your AI have a certain class to start off with, so say like our zombie here, if that was the base guy and then we made children that were different, so different types of zombies and they have different looks to them, but initially, even though they have different looks, this is still the main zombie base that they all share. You know what I mean? They all look like they all start off as this guy, and then they branch off from there. This is our AI base. That way we could iterate through all the AI easier instead of just doing actor. But yeah, it has all the AI, and it could just use a character as the base before removing it. I guess it was just doesn't want to use character because maybe like a loot dropping mechanic or something like that. Might be better to use the base. Okay. So AI spawning volume. We're gonna put this in our spawners, and we are going to click on our zombie, and this guy right now is just BP zombie. That's what he is, BP zombie. Yeah, BP zombie. And so we're going to delete BP zombie because we're going to be adding BP zombie to this. So our base will be BP underscore zombie. Huh? Should be just an actor. Interesting. Alright, well, we're gonna hit +1. AI. This is zombie. Maybe I must have read that wrong. So BP zombie. Right? And spawn counts. For this area here, we're gonna do about like 20 zombies. There we go. Alright. So yes, 20 zombies are gonna spawn, but right now all 20 zombies are gonna spawn in this little box. And we kinda don't want that. So we have AI spawn volume. We have box extends here. We're gonna want to go, as we've seen before, probably about 4,000 to 5,500. Or even maybe shorter than that, 500. But this case, let's see here. We want them to spawn kind of like within this barnyard area. So 3,500 by 5,000 seems pretty good. We'll give this to like 200. Just helps with the spawning because there's some hills here. You want to be able to put that on the ground and have them spawn. Maybe like 500. That way we can really make sure we got like all the areas here. So we want to spawn our zombies in here. Right. Then shape is fine. We can ignore the rest of them. We can almost go back here. So we got our zombies. We got 20 of them. Random rotations, floors. So if these buildings had floors, so if we wanted to spawn it, like say inside this house, we can add the floors of that house in there so it knows that it can spawn in there. Retries 9. If there's any waypoints that we need to add, so say if we're trying to like spawn the zombies on the roof or something, we add it there. Respawn, yes. Respawn time, we could do like, these are seconds, so we'll do like 5 minutes, so 60 seconds is a minute. 60 times 5, we can just get a calculator out because I'm not feeling well. Calculator, maybe more longer than that. 60 times, well, yeah, we'll just do 5 for now. Just 300, so 300 seconds instead. There we go. Time variation, do more like 15. There you go. Spawn time 10 and deviate 5. So that means there could be a zombie that spawns, and then the next one will spawn like it could spawn it up to a 10-second distance apart, but then that 10-second distance apart could actually deviate 5 seconds. So you can have one that spawns 5 seconds apart, or one that actually spawns the full 10 seconds apart. In a sense. Right. But actually, I'm gonna go back to 5 and put like 3 here. For this case specifically, there might not be any time, much time before we don't want the zombies that kind of pop in, so we'll have to experiment with that. Use player activation, yes. Use player deactivation, yes. So you want the player activation to be once, because the zombies are going to be spotted here, you want the player activation to be bigger than the spawn usually. So let's say like 5, 12, or 10,000. So as long as you're within this circle, those zombies can't spawn. Now we adjusted our internal circle, so we might need to adjust our sphere a little bit. There we go. We click back here, and now you always need to have your deactivation bigger than your activation, so you do like 15,000. So once you enter the activation sphere, our zombies will start spotting and be roaming. And once we exit the deactivation sphere, the zombies will then shut off again. And that is as simple as it is. So we are going to go about here and we're going to hit play. It's going to take a second to kind of load in. And since we have all our zombies deactivating and stuff like that, it should be pretty performant. I feel with 5 minutes though on respawn time, for the most part, the player does have time to go in and take out most of the zombies, if not all of them, loot the area, and get out. If the player ends up sticking in for a long time, they're just going to have to keep facing waves and waves of zombies, potentially wasting a lot of the resources they're working on getting in. Now, again, most of the time, I don't think you're going to have just such a barren area where it's just flat lands like this. But I'm expecting that we might see some pop in here. See some pop in with the trees. Oh. Forgot about that, but I don't see any player activation, player deactivation. We're not overriding the spawn. Let's just make sure the player deactivation sphere is kind of in line with the player activation sphere. There we go. But let's go to this here. This is AI spawning volume. Find spawn location. Yeah, find references. Spawn location trace. Check if there's AI left to spawn. Should be. If class is equal to landscape or this. This is the class we gave it. Behavior true we gave it is there. Print string. So every time it spawns a guy, we should be getting a print string. But we should be at least seeing if this is true. Print string. Entered loop. Compile and save here. See what's going on. Ugh. All right. So again, I want to kind of start outside this circle here. I'm gonna hit play. And again, I'm just sorry I haven't had time to really fix everything yet. Again, normally we'd have, it's such a huge map, and it's loaded a bunch of stuff far away. Normally, if we're keeping it this big and having all this stuff, we'd have some sort of loading screen. But because we're going right from the level, there's no loading screen, it just gets right into it. Alright, ouchie. So we got no print strings here. Kind of expected something now. Because we definitely should be within the activation zone. So this isn't even happening. Let's find references here. Oh, player in area is somehow probably false. Use proximity is definitely true. Alright. Enable spawn AI. I'll tell you we didn't enable spawn AI. Okay, we did. There you go. If respawn is true, which it is, but either way they're going to go back here. Player in check area. Use proximity and player in area. So we're going to do a test here, print string, to make sure player in area or player checked. Then we could do a print string here, player in area. Oh. Print and player in area. Okay. So I think this is it. We'll probably have to look into the collisions. Alrighty. I think that's probably what it is. I migrated this over badly, and then I tried to migrate it over properly, but the collisions did not fix itself. I'd have to, like, delete everything with this, and then remigrate it over properly, watching everything. But I figured I'll probably be blowing up a lot of this stuff anyway, and remaking my own stuff. So it's not like it's gonna stay here forever. That could come to bite me a little bit later on. Alright. I'm feeling player checked. But no player inside the area. That's only happening on the begin play. So this is the begin play. So this would only ever execute once. But I don't think I've seen player in area. Player check did spawn, so it did check if the player was there. But nothing ever happened. Activation spear, get overlapping pawn. Complains. Yeah, we definitely have the player tag on our character. There's so many different items that require to have the player tag, or else like the zombie wouldn't even look at us, it won't even run at us. So we have to have the player tag. For silly reasons, I'm just going to check, but we should, it definitely should have, it has player. That's so that's not the issue. Like I said, the only thing I could think of is spawning volumes and collisions. So yeah, activation, custom collision, weapon, block. Okay. Pawn is overlap. I'll leave that. I'll leave that. Alright. No, I think we should ignore weapon. Ignore weapon. Pawn overlap. Alright. And player oh, what is this? This is a trigger, object trigger. Query only, no physics. Yes. Oh. The mesh. Uh. So pawn query only. I think I'm gonna go C. The project settings, collisions. We're gonna go to presets. I'm gonna go to pawn. I have to minimize this because my sliding wheel is not there for some reason. We're gonna go to pawn. Open it up. We're gonna go down to triggers. We're gonna set that to overlap. Save that. Go back to game. Go back to full. And the other thing is, that was just on begin play that we're looking at that. And so this wasn't firing, I don't believe. So we could test this now. Because it's using oh. So when the proximity activation sphere, when we overlap, it should say overlapped. And then continue the proximity sphere. If we don't get that, the collisions aren't working still. So I'm watching to see if they're still checked. I think we remove checked. And see what else we have up here at the beginning. Because we might still have some stuff on begin play. With the initial spawn. Nope, there's no check. We must remove check. Limit fixed itself there. Had a weird graphics kind of glitch. Alright. So we're not colliding. That is the problem. Because we should have entered the sphere here. And we are within other spheres. Let's just see. The character has no collision. Custom presets. Nothing. But the capsule has nothing either. I don't remember this. I thought this was gray like before. See the actual character itself. The character oh, yes. The character was a pawn. And the pawn character mesh. Oh, the preset is character mesh. So we can go back, do that actually. So yeah, so go back to pawn. Put that to ignore. The character mesh we want to set to accept. We take our character, and our character is of character mesh, and it now has that trigger. There we go. So let's see now. See if it worky now. Alright. So I want to see overlapped. It will be blue in the top left. I think this is it. Because this is set as a trigger, and it's overlapping with pawns. Character is set as a pawn, but didn't overlap with triggers. All right. And again, sorry about the launch time. just check. This character is overlap with trigger. It is of type pawn. The character class itself is of type pawn. I mean, using the collision preset of character mesh, it is of type pawn. And this, using, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have a collision because it's specific to its actual spheres and stuff. This is of type trigger, and it's using a custom, and it's just overlapping with pawns specifically, which is fine. We're not getting this overlap. Switch has authority. Are you overlapping with anything? On component overlap. This is the component. So, and again, because this is a trigger and it overlaps with pawn, by changing the character, it affected both of them at the same time. So let's hit play. Now I want to see acti or deacti, as well as the overlapped in the top left. So we should be able to go over it. This should be any object. Once anything overlaps, or it should be any pawn, sorry, any pawn class overlaps with the trigger volume, it should trigger the trigger, really, the volume, then do something. Say acti or at least deacti. Should be on the outside. I think we should have hit the deactivation sphere by now. We should have entered the activation sphere by now. And we didn't get anything. Yeah. Activation sphere, deactivation sphere. We didn't get anything. Interesting. So like the weird problems you sometimes run into. Spawn, AI spawn volume. That's what this is. AI spawning volume. Excuse me. When it overlaps with something. Does it need physics? Sorry. Does it need any building stuff? This isn't a world dynamic or anything like that. These are pawns. And actually, we kind of don't want character mesh to do that. We kind of just want the capsule, because the capsule set the custom. Technically, I believe the character would have triggered it, as well as the mesh would have triggered it, as well as each one of these body parts should have triggered it. Okay. Because they're each one of these body parts. Oh, these are world static? That's world static? I don't think it's supposed to be world static. I think these are all supposed to be character meshes. I'll have to check that out later. Don't want to break things now. But the capsule is one time. Should maybe overlap with triggers. Generate overlap events, but that shouldn't matter. Doesn't have generate overlap events. Oh, doesn't have generate over. Okay, okay, okay. I think we got it, guys. Little hiccups you find along the way. Alright. I'm hoping that we see deacti, acti, and all that stuff now. Because our capsule, for where our character's going, has generated overlap events. The other ones didn't. And maybe that was what was not making any sense. So, like, it's part of the pawn. Should be just overlapping. Or again, sometimes when you don't feel well, your head's all clogged up. You miss the most basic of things. So I'm hoping that talking out loud to you guys has helped me stumble upon this, what I think should be a pretty basic error. Pretty simple. Alright. Should we run into the deacti here soon? No? going on? Overlap and acti. Entered loop. Entered loop. Entered loop. Entered loop. Entered loop. Enter loop. Enter loop. Enter loop. Hello. There we go. Enter loop. Enter loop. Hello. So now we got some guys in here. So it's working. There we go. So that's what our problem was. Kind of figured it would have been deacti. Should have. It's end overlap only. So we never left the deactivation sphere. So that's why that didn't trigger, which is fine. Overlapped. Entered loop. So what was happening is it's good to just try to pick a random location, find a location to spawn at. Excuse me. But we have these houses and stuff in the way. So if it tries to spawn and there's a house in the way, then it won't spawn. So it has a random X, Y, and Z within this circuit. Random X, Y, start location, random X, Y, Z, end location, and the radius of the circle is 32. And then it's going to spit out the size. And then it's going to check all static meshes for floors, if it's allowed. Or it's going to check if it's... So it's going to check all the floors if it's a floor, else it's going to check if it's the landscape. And then if it finds that it's the landscape that's below it, then it's going to spawn the character. If it finds that there's some sort of floor or something below it, then it's going to spawn it's going to spawn the character, but we haven't added that. So like in the house, those floors, if we have floors in the house, we can add that. The problem with that right now is these zombies are going to spawn before we enter within the town kind of loop. So we can't spawn these in the house. The house will have to have its own spawn, because then it will know when it's actually visible to the player or not. AI spawn. Spawn volume. I want the lowest point there. There we go. So now we have our zombies spawning. But they don't really look like zombies. These guys are really heavy. I don't know if I want to use those guys right now, but we do have these guys right now. One. What's texture? Okay. Two. And oh. You get the big chubby guy. So I think it's either one or two. Maybe even preferably one. So what we could do, right, the simple way of doing things right now is we go to our AI spawning volume, our AI, and we have our one AI that we're spawning. We open this guy up. And now this guy, he has an animation blueprint that we're using called AI character. So the quick and dirty way is to also find this guy, open him up, do something like Parasite 2, open the skeleton up of Parasite 2, open the skeleton up of this guy, and do a little sharing as caring where we go to where this skeleton location is and throw him in there, and we add this guy, go to this skeleton location, and we add him in there. We save both of these guys here since they're both Unreal skeletons, and again, this is a key thing, they both have to have the same bone structure as the Unreal skeleton here. Then Sharon is Karen, and when we update this, it'll have all of these guys' animations and stuff, and we could go to something like zombie here, and we could actually just go back to this location. We could duplicate this guy. Just so we're not affecting his, for example. Edit this guy, and we can now put our Parasite Zombie 2 in here, and it would stick with that, and that won't be edited at all. We have that, and we have base zombie mesh, and we can close all these. I think we already did that with zombie, the big guy before. It might have. But anyway, so we'll change this to zombie mesh. Sorry. So we go back outside here. And unfortunately we can't change the mesh of the class here, or else I would try the other zombie. So we might have to do it where it randomizes the mesh. Well, let's hit play. I just want to actually see the thing. I might do another share and just carrying thing and just try the infected guy, because that's pretty much what we're doing, just swapping out the meshes there. We're gonna hit the activation point. It's now trying to probably spawn zombies in. But again, if it hits any of the buildings and stuff like that, it won't be able to spawn. It'll just try again. And we're at like 70 frames, eh? With the grass, the trees, everything like that. And OBS takes a lot up. I know the hitbox is just not having any luck. Guess so. We're doing the... Why can't they hit me? For them, this guy here, tag, zombie, damageable, tag. Huh. Player should have it. Tag. What? Damageable. Copy. Okay, that should be allowing me to hit them. But why can't they hit me? Is it probably the same way? Reason? There it is. Oh. I get closer to the ground here. Play. Head 31. Darn, I didn't expect it to take this long. Because I wanted to also look into getting some items done off of, like, not a random treasure box, but like maybe use like a template table that we have somewhere. I want to see if I could get it to see that it spawns somebody without me hitting the spawn volume. Because it shouldn't need me to go in the spawn volume to spawn. There is lots of area. But I do not see any spawn. Now I've hit the spawn area by mistake. Now they're spawning in. Ugh. Yeah, so they still can't hit me, but I can hit them now. I can kill them. No ragdoll. But we want to be able to die too. Yeah. Alright, that's always my buildings, right. Because we are, it's trying to delete the buildings and respawn buildings, but... Is it really trying to random inside? Oh yeah, this box is pretty big. It sticks outside of this, but the spawn boxes. Spawn AI volume. Spawn AI volume. If we check this guy again, and we activate it, it's in the area. Length of AI is greater than total AI is greater than reset proximity. Reset is true. Do once. User activation. If it is active, it's going to reset it. Oh, if the spawn is greater than the total A spy. So it should just restart spawning. So yeah, it just should start spawning. Should we restart spawning? Alright. Go here. melee trace. Alright, so looks like we're gonna need these, so we're gonna copy this. Copy selected socket. Zombie. Mesh zombie. So left hand, we need to paste socket. And then we're going to go to the right hand. Copy selected socket. Go to the right hand and paste sockets. There we go. There we can save this. And we are outside. Hit play. Oh, I know why. Herp derp. I gotta make I'll have to fix it after. But what happens is it can't spawn the AI right now because it's actually hitting the house blueprint volume, and luckily I still have this in, but we delete the blueprint volume upon entering it. And so once it's fully deleted, because we remove it and destroy the actor, there's nothing there anymore. And so it is able to spawn the creatures. So we get to activation sphere. The zombies should be spawning, but they can't spawn because every time it's doing a check, it's colliding with the collision box that is used to check if we actually are in the area. So once we go in the area, it destroys that collision box, and now it's actually spawning guys because the collision box is gone and it can spawn guys anywhere. So we have to double check that collision box. So right here. Now I'm getting hit. Look at this, taking some big damage. And I die. Boom. We got zombies. Only 19 minutes left. I do want to fix that collision box problem though. So, spawn AI. What is this collision box? This here. No. This here, this collision box. Block all. No. Preset. We want it almost to be the exact same set as this here. What is this? What is this here? No. Proximity sphere is on. Yes, it's a custom. It's only on trigger. It's a trigger with pod. Let's do that. Query only. Yeah, let's do something like that. So, character step on? No, right? That should be no. That definitely should be a no. Oh, it is. Yes. I guess. Yes. Okay. Can I argue with that? Yes. But even this is a no. Like if we go to this doesn't even have a collision itself. There's no collision here. So we should go here. And can player step on? No. No collision. This has no collision at all. Right? This static mesh component. No collision at all. Then we have the visible box. Yes, overlap all. No. We want to do trigger. What? Trigger. Generate overlap events. Yes. Custom. This is trigger. Query only. And we just kind of want to overlap the pawn. So is a trigger? Yes, it's custom. And we only want it to overlap the pawn. Save. In the remove box, we want, so this is no now. And now we have a visible box, which is the big box on the outside. And it's just trigger. It's only going to overlap the pawn when the pawn overlaps. And we still have the remove box. Yes, custom. It's a trigger. And we, again, only want to overlap the pawn. Should be a lot better that way. Nothing. And we're gonna save. Now, since that's saved, when we go to spotting volume, what it does, it's check here, reset spotting, check player and area. No, oh, this here. A sphere trace for objects. So just as a sphere trace for objects. Normally you have a channel. It doesn't even show what channel it's in. But it was blocking all anyway. But I think we've fixed it because normally you're in the visibility channel or like the, and this could be just a global channel that's in a, but yeah, normally you have these different trace channels. Oops, sorry about that, guys. What's that? So, if I go straight towards the houses, I should hit the activation just past this road. But if I'm like up here on the road, I won't be in the activation. But I know if I'm somewhere near the bend of the road and I'm on the road, I should be in the activation spot. I should be able to see the active, like the zombies guys walking around in there. And again, normally it's not going to be this clear and this barren. So when you're walking up on a place and you boop walk into an area like right now, it shouldn't Yep, we got zombies. Well, we are kind of just seeing them spawn in, like, poop, just pop right in. That guy see me from this distance here? Yeah, eh? They could see me pretty far away. Alright. You wanna go, me home? Let's go. Oh. There, I gotcha. Gotcha, punk. Let's just crawl it with zombies. In this case, for this spawn area, that's what I wanted to test. I think it'll be up at that strength level, more like 10 zombies. But the activation, or should be just actually in here. The activation might need to be more like the thing. So it might need like 20,000 here. And this need to be like 25,000. Realistically, if we want the zombies to kind of spawn. And more realistically, you're gonna have like trees and stuff. So I'm gonna try to spawn over here and kind of see what happens. Hit play. Now I want to see. I'm coming out of the trees. I'm stumbling upon a camp. Sorry. Like I said, hopefully at work or something, I can try to stop by the MIR, which is our like military hospital, and see if they give me some sort of allergy meds that's better than what I have right now, because they're just what I have is not doing anything. All right. And it's cool now we got zombies in this area. I still gotta work on optimization. I'll be behind the scenes when I'm not coding with you guys. But next is definitely some items. If this is the exact point where these guys with nothing on us were coming in, and we want to get some items, we could be rolling up to a spot with like 10 zombies, and we're gonna have to punch all of them. I know there's an axe over there, but other people might not know that axe might not be there. So roll it up. Yeah, you can see that there's a zombie there. We didn't see it spawn in because it's behind the house, right? Some zombies there. We can see that there's some zombies. I don't want to try to jump over the fence. So we'll also eliminate that. Some zombies there. Might be able to get in. Oh, shoot, there's a zombie there. Try to loot some stuff. Hopefully find some ammo. Or bandage. Go take out this guy. Alright. And took that guy out. Now we have no guys in here. We try to loot the house, get our bandage, look for some sort of weapon or something, maybe a shovel. And then we go to the next house. Try to loot whatever there. Run into invisible walls. Oh, because is this interesting? Because the old house must still be here. So there's going to be poles. Stuff that we can run into here. Or there could be a wall here. But I should be able to get out. Yeah, because the garage is still here. This garage is still here. What are we doing for that? I'll have to actually open this up to test. This is the test one, right? So it's just a parent. Oh, we're just setting it not visible. So even though it's not visible, it's still hittable. All the mesh is in there. Hidden still. Overlap visibility. It's visible. And overlap visibility. It's not visible. Enter remove hitbox for each spawn. And for this, destroy actor. There's nothing else done here. And maybe because once you destroy the actor, it's ending visibility? Interesting. Let's, for now, move this here. And get this and do a for each loop. And I want to destroy actor. Now it has an array of actors. It has the location of those actors. I wonder if I go to viewport, remove, if I go down to the end overlap, this is a trigger. So another test I'd like to do. Okay, this is want to copy what we did up there. Could just duplicate actor. Okay. Get class. Get because we're not deleting our static meshes in the variable. So 1101, I just want to do this a quick test. Be interesting to see. So I want to see if we walk in, we delete all the houses, we walk out, it will spawn those houses back. And that way, when we go to walk into where this house is, we're not actually hitting the collisions of the walls there. And I don't need to do small test cal far BSM because this will change depending on the actual houses that we pick for it. So it could just be the original name itself. We don't need a child class of it. What was it, like something spawn mesh? Building spawn meshes or something? Yeah, so you just keep it that. So we're gonna walk in here. Those houses are deleted. Gone. Walk out. Nothing. Central memory. Overlap, they're deleted. Base heading mesh. So All right, guys. I think I still have another way I could do that. What I would do is on begin play. I would just save these message as another array of static meshes. And that way I have the variables and stuff stored. But it's after 11 o'clock, guys. Thank you so much. I might just finish this off here. And just double check the hitboxes and stuff like that. Here. Remove hitbox is... Remember we just did all this. We don't want this. We want this to be custom. We want this to be trigger. And we want it to just focus on pods only. But, yep. And so like I said, next time, if I can remember what we're doing, I do want to get into items. So we're fighting all those zombies. We need to fight those zombies. We need to be have a way to heal ourselves at least, if not actually kill the zombies easier. But more often than not, we do want to query only 2. We do want to be able to kill those zombies. And we do want this to no collision. And no. And no and no collision. But yeah, base hidden meshes. We want to change to like base hide and reveal meshes. That's one mesh. This is meshes. Hide and reveal meshes. And we don't need any children. This cow thing is just a test. But yeah. Alright guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday.